step into the shadows of history. Deep in the jungles of Mesoamerica, carved in stone and written in secret codices, lies one of the greatest mysteries of human civilization, the Mayan calendar. For centuries, scholars, priests, and rulers have debated its meaning. Some called it a brilliant system of astronomy and timekeeping. Others whispered that it contained prophecies of doom. But what if both were true? What if hidden within its numbers, symbols, and cycles lies a timeline of humanity's destiny? A secret the ancient Maya tried to preserve, but that powerful institutions tried to silence. Today, with the help of modern AI, fragments of these lost codes are finally being decoded. What they reveal is shocking, terrifying, and perhaps more relevant now than ever before. This is not just history. This is a countdown. The Mayan calendar did not begin as a tool of prophecy. It began as a way of mastering time. Thousands of years ago, the Maya developed one of the most advanced systems of time-keeping the world had ever seen. Unlike our modern Gregorian calendar, theirs was not linear, but cyclical, designed to mirror the great rhythms of the cosmos. At its core were two interwoven cycles: the Decoding, a 260-day sacred calendar used for rituals and divination, and the Hab, a 365-day solar calendar tied to the agricultural year. Together, these formed the calendar round, a repeating cycle of 52 years. But beyond this, the Maya created the long count, a timeline stretching thousands of years into the past and the future. Why such complexity? For the Maya, time was not just a measure of days. It was alive. It pulsed with energy. Each number, each glyph carried meaning and power. Events did not simply happen. They were destined to unfold at specific points in this cosmic rhythm. The long count allowed them to track cycles lasting over 5,125 years, a span so vast it suggested the Maya believed in cosmic ages of creation and destruction. The beginning of one such age, according to their inscriptions, was dated to 3,114 BC, the moment they believed this world was born. The end of that cycle, December 21st, 2012. But was this truly the end, or merely the beginning of something else? Numbers held sacred power for the Maya. To them, mathematics was not a tool. It was a language of the gods. Their base 20 counting system, combined with the revolutionary concept of zero, allowed them to track enormous spans of time with uncanny accuracy. But beyond practical use, numbers were infused with spiritual meaning. The number 13 symbolized the heavens. The number 9 represented the underworld. Together, these guided the structure of their mythologies, rituals, and calendars. Even the 260-day cycle of the Decoding reflected deeper mysteries. Some scholars argue it corresponds to the human gestation period, linking cosmic order to the very rhythm of life. Carved into stone stele and recorded in codices, the Maya encoded their worldview in intricate glyphs. Every glyph was a key, every cycle a lock. To read the calendar was to enter a hidden system of knowledge, one that stretched across centuries. Modern researchers now suspect these cycles may have been designed to track not only seasons and stars, but also periods of social upheaval, natural disasters, and even spiritual transformation. In other words, the calendar may have been less about predicting eclipses and more about predicting destiny. This concept, that human events unfold in cycles, still resonates today. But if the Maya truly embedded warnings about future catastrophes within their calendar, what exactly were they trying to tell us? The Maya were master astronomers. Without telescopes, they mapped the motions of planets with astonishing precision. Venus, in particular, held deep significance. Its cycles of appearance and disappearance were linked to war, sacrifice, and divine prophecy. Kings would plan battles based on its rising. Priests would perform rituals according to its movements. But Venus was not alone. The Maya tracked eclipses, solstices, and even the complex cycles of Mars and Jupiter. They believed these celestial events were signs, messages from the gods about the fate of kingdoms and the destiny of humankind. One of the most mysterious artifacts is the Dresden Codex, a surviving Mayan book filled with tables of Venus and apocalyptic imagery. Its pages suggest that cosmic alignments were tied to floods, famine, and destruction. For the Maya, astronomy was not just science, it was prophecy. The role of the king was not simply to rule, but to interpret these cosmic patterns and ensure balance between heaven and earth. Failure to act at the right time could mean disaster for the entire civilization. Modern astronomers have confirmed the accuracy of Mayan observations. But what remains haunting is their conviction that the stars did not merely influence human fate, they dictated it. And if they were right, then the movements of the heavens may still hold a roadmap to our future. Much of the Mayan world has been silenced, not by time, but by fire. When Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, they did more than conquer cities. They destroyed libraries. Mayan codices, written on bark paper with sacred glyphs, were gathered and burned as works of the devil. Only a handful of these books survived: the Dresden, the Madrid, the Paris, and the Grolier codices. Together, they offer glimpses into the Maya's hidden knowledge, rituals, astronomy, cycles of time, and chilling predictions of catastrophe. But scholars believe hundreds more once existed, containing secrets now lost forever. Yet whispers suggest that not all knowledge was erased. Some claim that Mayan priests hid fragments of their writings, burying them in caves, temples, or carrying them through oral tradition. Legends speak of forbidden prophecies that were never meant for outsiders. Today, researchers and AI systems are re-examining the surviving codices. Algorithms are uncovering patterns once overlooked, connections between cycles, astronomical events, and historical catastrophes. Some believe these patterns hint at a timeline of crises, plagues, wars, climate collapses, encoded centuries before they happened. If true, it means the Mayan calendar was not simply an ancient curiosity. It was a manual for survival, and perhaps a warning we ignored. For most of the modern world, the Mayan calendar became famous for one reason: the supposed prediction of the end of the world in 2012. As December 21st approached, panic spread across the globe. Books, movies, and television shows declared it the apocalypse. But did the Maya truly predict Doomsday? Or was the truth misunderstood? In reality, the long count calendar's great cycle simply reached its end on that date, just as a car's odometer resets to zero after a long journey. To the Maya, this was not the end of existence, but the end of an age and the birth of another. Just as previous worlds had risen and fallen, so too would ours. Yet, what unsettles researchers is that the transition between ages was often marked by chaos, floods, famine, and societal collapse. Some inscriptions even describe the gods returning during these cycles to renew creation through destruction. While the world did not end in 2012, many point to the turbulent years that followed: political upheaval, global pandemics, and environmental crises as signs that perhaps a new cycle truly had begun. The question is, what kind of age are we now living in? For centuries, the Mayan glyphs were a puzzle. Many remained unreadable, their meanings lost. But in recent years, breakthroughs in linguistics, archaeology, and most surprisingly, artificial intelligence have changed everything. AI systems can scan thousands of inscriptions, codices, and carvings, detecting patterns invisible to the human eye. By cross-referencing astronomical data, ritual cycles, and historical events, these systems are beginning to reveal what the Maya may have truly encoded in their calendar. One discovery shocked researchers: correlations between Mayan cycles and major global events, including pandemics, climate shifts, and even patterns of war. Could it be coincidence? Or was it foresight? Even more unsettling are the fragments of prophecy AI has reconstructed from damaged texts. Some speak of a great shadow that spreads across nations. Others hint at upheavals tied to specific planetary alignments that are still to come. What once seemed like vague myth is starting to look eerily precise. And if AI is right, then some of the most chilling Mayan predictions may not have happened yet. As AI continues to decode the Mayan calendar, a pattern emerges. History moves in cycles of destruction and renewal. Civilizations rise, collapse, and rise again, not randomly, but in rhythms tied to cosmic time. According to these patterns, the years following 2012 mark the opening of a new cycle, one that may last centuries. But transitions are rarely smooth. The Maya believed that each new age is born through upheaval. Famine, floods, disease, and fire often accompany the shift. AI researchers have mapped these cycles and found eerie parallels with modern crises. The intensifying climate emergency, mass migrations, economic instability, and technological upheaval. Some even claim the Maya foresaw a moment when humanity would face a choice: adapt and evolve, or collapse as so many civilizations before us. If true, the Mayan calendar is not about predicting a single apocalyptic event. It is about warning us of the dangers in repeating history. The timeline of catastrophe is not destiny, it is a test. But are we ready to face it? Among the surviving codices and inscriptions, there are hints of knowledge so dangerous it was hidden from outsiders. Priests guarded it, rulers feared it, and conquerors tried to erase it. These are the forbidden prophecies, visions of futures that might shatter the world. One speaks of a great silence, when voices vanish and cities fall empty. Another describes a serpent of fire crossing the skies. Modern interpreters link these to pandemics, technological blackouts, and even celestial events like comets or solar flares. What makes these prophecies chilling is their precision. They are not vague metaphors, but time predictions tied to specific cycles. AI has matched some of them with historical disasters, plagues, famines, wars. But others point to events yet to come. Did the Maya intend these warnings for us? Or were they messages for their own people, never meant to echo into the future? If the forbidden prophecies are real, then we may be living in the very cycle they feared most. For the Maya, destruction was never the final word. Every ending was also a beginning. After floods came fertile soil. After collapse, renewal. The calendar's cycles were not about fear. They were about transformation. The Popol Vuh, the sacred book of the Maya, describes how worlds are created and destroyed again and again. Each cycle brings new opportunities for humanity to rise to greater heights or fall into deeper darkness. Modern researchers suggest that the Maya may have been offering a message of hope, that even in the face of catastrophe, life renews. What matters is how humanity chooses to act during these critical moments. If we're truly living at the dawn of a new cycle, then our choices, how we treat the earth, how we govern ourselves, how we use technology, will shape the next age. The Maya believed time was sacred. Perhaps they were reminding us that we are not powerless. We are participants in the rhythm of creation. The end was never the end. It was always a chance to begin again. What, then, is the final message of the Mayan calendar? Is it doom or destiny? The evidence suggests it is both. Yes, the calendar encodes cycles of collapse, destruction, and catastrophe. But it also encodes the possibility of renewal, transformation, and rebirth. The Maya understood what we often forget, that civilizations are fragile, that time moves in patterns, and that the choices we make echo across ages. AI has given us new eyes to read these ancient codes. It has shown us prophecies we once dismissed as myth. It has revealed that we may indeed be living in a moment the Maya foresaw, a threshold between worlds. The question is not whether the prophecy is real. The question is whether we will listen. Because in the end, the Mayan calendar is not just a record of time. It is a mirror. It reflects our past, our present, and the future we are about to create. The countdown has already begun.